Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 23.
Cao Cao is, he's furious.
Yeah, seriously angry. His generals, Lu Dai and Wang Zong, they've just failed against Liu Bei.
And Cao Cao's first reaction? Execute them. Pretty harsh.
Extremely. But then you get this voice of reason stepping in.
An advisor.
Exactly, Kan Rong. He's this well-respected scholar, an official, and he makes a case.
What does he say?
He basically argues, look, executing them, it's bad for morale. Plus, let's be honest, these guys were just outmatched by Liu Bei anyway.
Makes sense. And Cao Cao, does he buy it?
He does. He listens. Now, he doesn't let them off completely, mind you.
Right, he strips them of their titles.
Yeah, which tells you something important about Cao Cao right away. He's pragmatic. He can, override that initial anger for a better strategic outcome.
That's quite a bit of self-control, actually. Strategic flexibility, you called it.
It really is. Crucial in that kind of era.
So, okay, crisis averted with the generals. But Cao Cao still wants to deal with Liu Bei, right? He wants to attack immediately.
He does, but Kong Rong pipes up again.
Same guy.
Same guy. Kong Rong advises patience. Says the winter's too severe for a campaign right now.
Okay, so what's the alternative?
He suggests a different path, a more nuanced one. Recruit first. Go after Zhang Xiu and Liu Biao. Then worry about Zhou Province and Liu Bei later.
And Cao Cao goes for it.
He agrees. Sends Liu Ye off to try and persuade Zhang Xiu.
So why this focus on recruitment before fighting Liu Bei? What's the strategic thinking there?
Well, it's all about the bigger picture, isn't it? Building power, securing alliances.
Right.
Liu Biao controlled Jing Province. The crucial waterways, rich farmland. Hugely strategic.
Okay, vital territory. And Zhang Xiu.
He had a pretty significant independent army. Getting both of them on side through diplomacy, that saves a lot of resources. Avoids fighting on multiple fronts.
Yeah, smart. Statecraft over just brute force.
Exactly. Even in a time famous for battles, diplomacy was key.
So Liu Ye heads off to meet Zhang Xiu, but it's not straightforward, is it?
Not at all. Liu Ye arrives, but he doesn't get to see Zhang Xiu right away.
Oh, who intercepts him?
Zhang Xiu's top advisor, the famous Jie Xu.
Jie Xu.
And Jie Xu basically keeps Liu Ye cooling his heels at his own house overnight. Zhang Xiu hasn't even heard the offer yet.
Wow, talk about controlling the situation. What's Jie Xu up to?
He's assessing. He's strategizing. He wants to frame Cao Cao's offer before Zhang Xiu gets wind of it, manage the perception deeply. And it turns out to be crucial because the very next day, while Zhang Xiu is probably just starting to mull over Cao Cao's proposal.
Let me guess. More complications.
You got it. An envoy arrives.
From who?
Yuan Chao, the big power in the north. And he's got a competing offer, a very generous one, apparently, for both Zhang Xiu and Liu Biao.
Oh, man. Talk about a fork in the road. Zhang Xiu is stuck between Cao Cao, who looks weaker right now, and the powerhouse Yuan Shao.
Exactly. What do you do? That's the million-dollar question for Zhang Xiu.
So how does Jie Xu handle this new envoy? This feels like a pivotal moment.
It is. And Jie Xu's reaction is, well, it's legendary. He starts by asking the envoy how Yuan Shao's campaign against Cao Cao was going.
Okay.
The envoy says, oh, they paused for the winter. And Jie Xu just bursts out laughing. Right in his face.
Away.
Oh, yeah. Then he gets really direct. Insults Yuan Shao. Tears up the official letter right there.
Tears it up.
Rips it up. And sends the poor envoy packing with this incredibly cutting remark. Something like, go tell Yuan Shao, if you can't even tolerate your own brothers, how could you possibly tolerate the talents of the whole nation?
Whoa, that is beyond audacious. I mean, the risk, Yuan Shao could crush them for that kind of insult?
Immense risk, absolutely. Yeah. But Jie Xu is playing a different game. He's calculated this.
Zhang Xiu must have been terrified, though.
Understandably. He asks Jie Xu, why on earth did you provoke the powerful Yuan Shao? Cao Cao is weaker.
Yeah, what was the logic?
And this is where Jie Xu lays out his masterclass in persuasion. He gives Zhang Xiu 3 advantages for joining Cao Cao, even though, remember, they have bad blood. Cao Cao's own son died fighting Zhang Xiu before.
Right, that adds another layer of difficulty. Okay, what are the 3 advantages?
1, Cao Cao acts with the emperor's official blessing. Legitimacy, that counts for a lot.
Okay, the imperial decree. Makes sense.
2, Yuan Shao is already super strong. If Zhang Xiu joins him, he's just a small fish in a huge pond, easily ignored. But Cao Cao, he's weaker, relatively speaking. Gaining Zhang Xiu's forces is a big deal for him. He'll value Zhang Xiu much more.
Being a big fish in a smaller pond? Clever.
Precisely. And 3, this is maybe the most insightful point. Cao Cao has the ambition, the vision of a true ruler. a hegemon.
Meaning?
Meaning he's capable of putting aside personal feelings, like the death of his son, for the bigger picture, to show his virtue, to attract the best talent from everywhere. He won't let old grudges stop him from building his power base.
That's quite an argument. Forgiving the man who killed your son to show you're a magnanimous leader?
It's bold leadership psychology.
So, did it work? Was Zhang Zhu convinced by these 3 advantages?
Completely. Jie Shu nailed it. Zhang Zhu is won over.
And when he finally meets Liu Ye again?
Liu Ye just reinforces it. He says, look, if Cao Cao still held that grudge, why would he even bother sending me?
Good point.
So Zhang Zhu and Jie Shu decide to go for it. They travel to the capital, Suchang, to surrender to Cao Cao in person.
Okay, this is the moment. Cao Cao meets the man responsible for his son's death. How does he react?
It's incredible. He plays it perfectly.
Yep.
No hint of resentment.
Really?
He immediately helps Zhang Zhu up from his formal bow, takes his hand, and basically says, let's not dwell on minor past issues. Or words to that effect.
Minor past issues, wow.
Yeah. And then, boom, he appoints Zhang Zhu as general of Yangwu, high rank.
Yeah.
And Jie Zhu, he makes him Minister of Justice, another top post.
That's strategically brilliant. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is regarding forgiveness and talent.
It sends a massive signal across the land. Join me, Cao Cao, and your past won't matter if you have value now. Focus on the future.
Okay, so Zhang Zhu is now part of Cao Cao's camp. What about the other target, Liu Biao?
Right, Liu Biao in Jing province. Cao Cao's first thought is, hey, Zhang Zhu, you write to him. Try and persuade him.
Makes sense. They were neighbors, sorta.
But Jie Shu steps in again. More advice.
What now?
He says, Liu Biao. He's a particular type. He really admires literary scholars, famous intellectuals. Don't just send a letter from a general. Send someone known for their literary flair, their reputation.
Ah, playing to the audience, like an ancient version of influencer marketing.
Kind of, yeah. It shows how much weight words and reputation carried, especially in diplomacy. It wasn't just armies clashing.
So Cao Cao needs a famous scholar. Who does he ask?
He turns to another advisor, Sun Yu, for a recommendation.
Then Sun Yu suggests...
Get this. He suggests Kong Rong.
The same Kong Rong who advised Cao Cao about the generals and the winter campaign.
The very same. A man of considerable talent and standing.
Perfect. So Kong Rong goes.
Nope, Kong Rong declines. Says he's not the man for the job.
Really? Why?
This is where it gets wild. Kong Rong says, essentially, why send me when my friend Mi Heng is 10 times more talented than I am?
10 times? Is he serious? Mi Heng. Never heard of him.
Exactly. He's young, only 24. And Kong Rong doesn't just suggest him. He writes this incredibly elaborate, over-the-top memorial to the emperor recommending Mi Heng.
To the emperor, not just to Cao Cao.
To the emperor. Recommending Mi Heng not just as an envoy, but as someone brilliant enough to be advising the emperor himself.
Okay, 10 times more talented is already a huge claim. What did this memorial actually say?
Oh, the praise is almost unbelievable. Kong Rong paints Mi Heng as this paragon, pure and loyal, outstanding talent, claims he has photographic memory, sees once, recites forever, hears once, never forgets.
Sounds almost superhuman.
It really does. Says his mind is like divine. Better memory than famous figures from the past known for recall. Calls him loyal and upright. Hates evil. Integrity off the charts.
Wow. Any metaphors? Grand comparisons?
Loads. Kong Rong says things like hundreds of fierce birds are not equal to one eagle, meaning Mi Heng towers over everyone else. He envisions Mi Heng leaping like a dragon, spreading wings in the Milky Way, compares him to rare jewels, exquisite music.
This is intense. Was this kind of hyperbole normal, or is Kong Rong really sticking his neck out here?
It feels extreme, even for the rhetoric of the time. And the kicker is, Kong Rong tells the emperor, summon him in his regular clothes, test him. If he's not everything I say, I will take the punishment for deceiving you.
He's staking his entire reputation on this 24-year-old kid. That's incredibly bold.
Utterly bold, a massive gamble on talent.
So what happens? Does the emperor summon Mi Heng?
The emperor gets the memorial, reads it, and just forwards it straight to Cao Cao.
Ah, so the decision lands back with Cao Cao.
Yep. And Cao Cao, intrigued by this extraordinary recommendation, immediately sends for Mi Heng. You can just feel the tension, right? Mi Heng walks in, doesn't even get offered a seat, lets out this big sigh, and boom, though the world is vast, there is no one worthy. I mean, what an opening line. Just throws it right at Cao Cao. What do you make of that entrance?
It's pure provocation. I mean, absolutely deliberate. He's not just commenting on the world, he's challenging Cao Cao directly. His court, his people, it's like he's seizing control of the room from the second he walks in, testing boundaries right away.
Yeah, audacious is the word. And Cao Cao, who's clearly taken aback, pushes back. He starts listing his own team, his impressive roster of talent. He mentions top strategists like Sun Yu, Guo Jia, Cheng Yu. Says they're better than historical greats.
Right, trying to counter Niheng's claim that there's no one worthy.
Then he lists his warriors. Zhang Liao, Shu Chu, Li Dian, Li Jin. Compares them to famous generals. He even calls Xiahou Dun a heavenly genius and Cao Zixiao a blessed general. I mean, Cao Cao's clearly thinking, okay, that should shut him up.
You'd think so. It's a power play, listing his assets.
But Niheng,
Yeah.
completely unimpressed, he just launches into this attack, mocking every single person Cao Cao mentioned. Says Sun Yu is only good for visiting the sick. Sun Yu for guarding tombs. It gets worse. Sun Chu for herding cattle. Su Huang for butchering animals.
It's incredibly specific and demeaning.
And he calls Xiahou Dun a whole-body general, which is just cruel because Xiahou Dun had lost an eye.
Oof. Yeah, that's a low blow.
Calls Cao Zixiao a money-grabbing prefect.
Yeah.
And everyone else, just clothes racks, rice bags, wine barrels, and meat sacks.
Wow. What's the goal there? It seems almost suicidal.
Exactly. What was he trying to achieve with that?
Well, it's more than just insults, I think. It's strategic. He's deconstructing Cao Cao's power base piece by piece. By trashing each key figure, he's undermining Cao Cao's whole image as this leader who attracts the best talent.
Ah, so attack the team to attack the leader?
Pretty much. He's telling Cao Cao and everyone listening, you're stars. They're worthless, which reflects badly on Cao Cao's judgment, right? It's a huge gamble.
So naturally, Cao Cao is furious. He demands, okay, smart guy, what can you do?
And Niheng just doubles down on the arrogance.
Oh, yeah. He boasts about mastery astronomy, geography, all schools of thought. Claims he could make a ruler like the legendary sages Yao and Shun.
After tearing everyone else down, he lifts himself up to the heavens. It's quite the contrast.
At this point, one of Cao Cao's generals, Zhang Liao, he's had enough. He's ready to just, draw his sword and end it.
Which would be the expected reaction, probably.
But Cao Cao stops him. And this is fascinating. Instead of execution, he makes Niheng a drum official. A drummer.
Seems almost merciful or lenient, maybe.
On the surface, yeah. But what's really going on there? Why not just get rid of him?
This is classic Cao Cao calculation. It's about reputation management. He knew Niheng had this. Well, this reputation, maybe just empty fame. Yes, as the text says, but fame nonetheless. Killing him outright. That makes Cao Cao look intolerant, like he can't handle criticism. Especially bad for attracting scholars.
So making him a drummer is, what, humiliation?
Humiliation, yes, but also a stage. It's a public row, however minor. Cao Cao's probably betting Niheng will just keep being outrageous and discredit himself. This way, Cao Cao avoids the blame for silencing him directly. It's a longer game. Very clever, really.
And Niheng plays right into it, doesn't he? The next day, there's a big banquet. Niheng shows up in old, ragged clothes, total defiance of court etiquette.
Setting the stage again.
Then he performs this piece on the drum, 3 strokes of Fuyang. And the text says it was incredible. Exquisite rhythm, deep like metal and stone, actually moved the guests to tears.
So he genuinely had talent, even while being completely provocative.
But then comes the real shocker. They tell him to change into proper clothes, and instead, he just strips completely naked, right there in front of everyone.
Wow. Okay. Completely exposed.
Then just calmly puts on new pants like nothing happened, unfazed. What on earth is that supposed to achieve?
It's pure theater and deeply symbolic, I think. By stripping bare, he's showing absolute fearlessness. He's also maybe stripping away the hypocrisy he sees in the court. Like, I have nothing to hide, unlike you all. It's utter contempt for decorum, for Cao Cao's authority, using shame as a weapon.
Cao Cao is, understandably, livid. Demands to know what Niheng considers rude.
And Niheng doesn't back down an inch.
Not at all. He fires back. Say, deceiving the emperor is rude. And then he just lets loose on Cao Cao personally.
This is where it gets really direct, right?
Oh, yeah. Accuses Cao Cao of being turbid or unclear in 6 ways. His eyes for not seeing worthy people, his mouth for not reading poetry, ears for not listening to good advice.
Wow, a full point-by-point takedown.
His body for not understanding history, his belly for not tolerating other lords, and the big one, his heart, for constantly harboring thoughts of usurpation. Treason, basically.
He's calling Cao Cao a traitor to his face, in front of everyone.
And then he compares being made a drum official under Cao Cao to, like, historical examples of unworthy people disrespecting sages, Yang Ho and Confucius, Zhang Kang and Mencius. It's the ultimate insult. The man had 0 filter.
Absolutely none, pushing every possible button.
So at this point, another official, Kong Rong, gets worried. He steps in, probably afraid Cao Cao will finally snap and kill Niheng.
Understandable fear.
But Cao Cao, still playing the long game, decides to send Niheng away, dispatches him as an envoy to Liu Biao in Jingzhou, with a subtle message for Liu Biao to surrender, offering him a high position.
So passing the problem along.
Seems like it. But Niheng isn't done. As he's leaving Cao Cao's camp, the officials there are all sitting stiffly, refusing to stand for him.
Showing their contempt.
So Niheng bursts into tears and cries out that he's walking among dead coffins.
Oh my goodness. He just can't stop.
They call him a headless mad ghost. He shoots back, "I'm a minister of Han, not one of Cao Man's cronies. How can I be headless?" And they call him a rat or sparrow.
And he probably had a comeback for that too.
Yep. I may be a rat or sparrow, but I still have humanity. You lot are just parasitic wasps. Unbelievable.
It's relentlessly provocative.
So he gets to Jingzhou, to Liu Biao, and does he change his tune? Nope. The source says he praised Liu Biao with his words, but mocked him in his actions. Subtle sarcasm, perhaps?
Yes.
Or just continued arrogance, probably a mix. Liu Biao is not happy, but he also doesn't kill him. Instead, he passes him along again, this time to Huangzhou down in Jiangxia.
Another pass the parcel with the problematic scholar.
But Liu Biao's reasoning is key here, isn't it?
Yeah.
When asked why he didn't just execute Niheng, what does he say?
Yeah, this shows Liu Biao's shrewdness. He says, basically, Niheng insulted Cao Cao repeatedly, but Cao Cao didn't kill him because he feared losing public support.
Right.
So Cao Cao sent him to me hoping I would kill him so I would get the bad reputation for harming a scholar.
He saw the trap. He understood Cao Cao was trying to use him to do the dirty work and take the blame. That's some next-level political insight.
Absolutely. It shows how much reputation and perception mattered in their strategies. It wasn't just about armies, it was psychological warfare, too.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly, but stay on this theme of political chess. There's this interesting side story with Han Song. Liu Biao is trying to figure out who to ally with Yuan Shao or Cao Cao.
Right, a big strategic decision point for Liu Biao.
And his attendant, Han Song, speaks up bravely. He advises siding with Cao Cao, predicting he'll beat Yuan Shao eventually.
A potentially risky piece of advice depending on Liu Biao's leanings.
Liu Biao decides to check things out first. He sends Han Song to Xuchang, Cao Cao's base, essentially to scout. And before Han Song leaves, he gives Liu Biao this incredibly blunt warning. What was it again?
It's remarkable. He says something like, look, lords and ministers have their roles. If you, general, decide to follow the emperor and Cao Cao, then fine, send me. But if you're still wishy-washy when I get to the capital and the emperor gives me a job, then I become the emperor's minister and I won't serve you anymore.
Wow. That's laying it on the line. Is that loyalty, or is he hedging his bets? Or something else?
It's complex, isn't it? You could see it as pragmatic, but maybe he's framing it as loyalty to a higher authority, the Han Emperor, who Cao Cao currently represents. He's saying, my ultimate duty is there. If you align with it, I'm with you. If not, my duty shifts. It's very direct about the conditions of his loyalty in these chaotic times.
So, Han Song gets to Xuchang, and Cao Cao, he doesn't wait. He immediately appoints Han Song as imperial attendant and prefect of Lingling. Big promotions.
Even though Han Song hasn't really done anything for him yet.
Exactly. What's the genius behind giving him such a lavish reward so quickly?
Oh, it's brilliant. Multi-layered. First, it instantly wins over Han Song, or at least binds him closer, makes him look good too, validates his advice back home. But more importantly, it's a signal. A huge flashing signal to everyone else watching, especially in Liu Biao's camp.
Saying what? Come join me, the rewards are great.
Precisely. Look how I treat those who recognize the winning side. Come over, defect, and you'll be handsomely rewarded instantly. It's a powerful recruitment tool and a way to pressure Liu Biao indirectly. Strategic generosity.
And there's a moment where Sun Yu, Cao Cao's own advisor, kind of questions this. Like,
Correct.
Why give him so much? And why aren't you asking about Niheng?
Right. Sun Yu is perhaps thinking more conventionally.
And Cao Cao just lays out his chilling logic about Niheng.
Oh.
Basically, Niheng insulted me way too much. I used Liu Biao's hand to kill him. Why bother asking about it now?
Cold. It confirms the whole strategy. He engineered Niheng's likely demise without getting his own hands dirty. Foresight and manipulation on full display.
So, back to Han Song. He returns to Jingzhou, reports honestly about how strong the imperial court under Cao Cao looks, and advises Liu Biao to send his son to serve the emperor. Basically confirming his earlier advice.
The loyal, if perhaps unwelcome, report.
But Liu Biao flies into a rage, accuses Han Song of disloyalty, wants to execute him.
After Han Song specifically warned him this might happen.
Right. Han Song even cries out, "If the general betrays me, how can I not betray the general?" Basically, you're breaking the terms we agreed on.
A very tense moment.
He only gets pardoned because another advisor, Kuai Liang, reminds Liu Biao, "Hey, remember, Han Song told you this would be his position if you stayed undecided."
Saved by his own prophetic warning. Incredible. The layers of politics, trust, betrayal. It's just amazing.
It really is. Mi Heng drinking with Huang Zu, and apparently both are pretty intoxicated. Huang Zu, maybe feeling a bit full of himself or maybe genuinely curious, asks Mi Heng, "So who are the big shots back in Shucheng?" You know?
Right.
And this isn't just like casual bar talk, it's loaded. It's a chance for Mi Heng to show respect. Or, well, not.
And Mi Heng just goes for it, doesn't he? No holding.
None at all. He names a couple of figures, big Sun Kong Wenju, little Sun Yang Dezu, and then basically says, and that's it, no one else counts.
Ouch. And then Huang Zu, obviously annoyed, asks, well, what about me?
Yeah, and Mi Heng delivers this killer line, just brutal. "You are like a temple god receiving offerings, but without spiritual efficacy."
Wow. So basically calling him a useless decoration. All show, no substance.
Exactly. A powerless idol. It's an incredibly bold insult, maybe even suicidal, you could argue.
So what does that tell us about Mi Heng? Was he just reckless? Or did he genuinely not care about the consequences? Maybe he thought he was untouchable.
Well, it certainly makes you wonder, doesn't it? Was it arrogance? Or maybe this deeply held belief in his own intellectual honesty, like he had to speak his mind no matter what. It shows how much value he placed on that integrity, maybe over his own safety. Defiance against authority, pure and simple.
And Huang Zu's reaction, predictable, I guess.
Completely predictable. He explodes, he sees himself called a wooden dummy, and in that rage, he just orders Mi Heng executed. Right there and then.
And Mi Heng apparently died creasing him out.
Yeah, defiant right to the very end. But then the reactions from others are really interesting.
Yeah.
Just it's from perspectives.
Right, like Liu Biao.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Liu Biao hears about it and is apparently quite saddened. He orders Mi Heng buried respectfully at Parrot Island. There's even a poem about it later, mourning the loss. Mi Heng's pearl shattered at this riverhead. For Liu Biao, it seems like a waste of talent, maybe even some respect for that fiery spirit.
Which is such a contrast with Cao Cao.
Oh, completely. Cao Cao hears the news and just laughs it off.
What did he say? Something like,
"A rotten scholar's tongue sword killed himself." Just totally cynical.
so for Cao Cao, it's just, well, what did you expect?
Pretty much. It tells you a lot about Cao Cao's worldview, right? For him,
Yeah.
this kind of outspokenness against raw power, it's just dumb, self-destructive. It really highlights the dangers, but also the different leadership styles. Pragmatism versus maybe something else in Liu Biao's case.
Okay, so Mi Heng's story is about that sort of individual defiance maybe gone wrong, or at least meeting a predictable end.
Or maybe defiance at any cost.
Yeah.
But it definitely sets the stage for the kind of power Cao Cao was consolidating.
Right, and that power, Cao Cao's growing ambition, it was making a lot of people nervous, wasn't it? Leading to more organized plots.
Exactly. Cao Cao was looking to expand, maybe attack Liu Biao for not submitting. But his advisor, Sun Yu, gives him this really sharp advice. He says attacking Liu Biao now is like abandoning the heart and abdomen for the limbs. Meaning, deal with the core threats, first Yuan Shao, Liu Bei, before going after the periphery. Focus on the center.
And Cao Cao listened.
He did, which shows his strategic thinking, his pragmatism. But it didn't exactly make people less afraid of him.
No, definitely not. And one person feeling that pressure acutely was Dong Cheng. He was the emperor's uncle. The sources say he got really frustrated, even physically ill, after seeing Cao Cao acting so arrogantly at court.
Yeah, the New Year's court in Jianan 5th year, Dong Cheng's illness. It's almost symbolic, isn't it?
How so?
Well, it kind of represents the political despair of the Han loyalists. They see Cao Cao basically running the show, controlling the emperor, and they feel powerless. That frustration turns inward, makes them sick.
That makes sense. And the emperor, concerned, sends a doctor.
Right. He sends a famous physician from Luoyang, Ji Tai, also known as Ji Ping. And this highlights something important too, the role of these doctors in noble houses. They weren't just healers, they were often confidants, close to the family, sometimes maybe caught up in things.
As Xi Ping definitely was here, this leads to a really dramatic scene, right? On Lantern Festival night.
Yeah, it's quite theatrical. Dong Cheng is worn out, maybe still sick, maybe just had too much wine with Ji Ping. He falls asleep, still dressed.
And he has this intense dream.
Super vivid. He dreams about huge armies coming for Cao Cao Biao, Yuan Shao, Ma Teng, Han Sui, hundreds of thousands of troops. Zhu Chang, the capital, is left empty in the dream, and Dong Cheng sees himself bursting into Cao Cao's banquet and cutting him down.
And he wakes up shouting.
Wakes up still cursing, Cao thief, just muttering it aloud in his sleep as he wakes up.
And Jiping hears this. What happens next is just, wow.
It is. Jiping doesn't just ignore it. He confronts Dong Cheng, steps forward and basically says, I haven't forgotten the Han Dynasty either, declares his own loyalty.
That's a massive gamble for Jiping, isn't it? To just reveal himself like that. What makes someone do that?
It's an enormous risk. It speaks volumes about the depth of loyalty some people still felt to the Han, even with Cao Cao so dominant. It was desperate loyalty.
And then he does something even more extreme to prove it.
Yeah, this is really startling. He bites off one of his own fingers.
Bites off his finger.
Bites it right off, as an oath. To show Dong Cheng he's absolutely serious, completely committed.
Wow. That's quite a gesture. You don't really doubt someone after that?
Not really, no. It's permanent, painful. A symbol of total dedication. So Dong Cheng is convinced.
And then Dong Cheng shows him the secret edict.
Exactly. He reveals the imperial edict and the girdle, that hidden decree from the emperor asking loyalists to deal with Cao Cao. And he explains the previous plot, the one with Liu Bei and Ma Teng, that didn't work out.
So now Jiping is fully in the loop, and he comes up with a plan.
A very clever, very dangerous plan.
What was it? How could he even get close enough?
Well, it turns out Cao Cao suffered from these terrible headaches called headwind. Really severe pain. And who did he always call to treat him? Jiping.
Ah, his personal physician.
Precisely. So Jiping's plan is simple, but deadly. The next time Cao Cao calls him for treatment, he'll slip a fatal poison into the medicine.
Using Cao Cao's own illness, his own trust in his doctor, against him.
It's incredibly daring. Leverages that position of trust perfectly. Shows the ingenuity born out of, well, desperation. Dong Cheng must have been overjoyed, relieved.
It sounds like a foolproof plan, almost. But then, things go wrong.
Yeah, a completely unexpected twist. And it's not political, it's personal.
Dong Cheng catches his servant, Jing King Tong, talking privately with his concubine, Yan Ying.
Right. And Dong Cheng is furious. Maybe jealous, maybe just angry at the impropriety.
What does he do?
He has them both beaten 40 strokes each, and Jing King Tong gets thrown into confinement, basically imprisoned in the household.
Okay, so the servant is beaten and locked up. How does that derail the whole assassination plot?
Revenge. Jing King Tong is simmering. He manages to break his chains, escapes the house, and where does he go? Straight to Cao Cao.
No.
Yes. He tells Cao Cao everything, spills the entire conspiracy, names everyone involved, Prince Zifu, Wu Zilan, Zongji, Wu Shu, Ma Teng.
Does he mention the edict? Jiping's oath?
He mentions the white silk, which is the edict. And yeah, even the detail about Jiping biting off his finger. The whole 9 yards.
So Cao Cao knows everything.
Everything. And Cao Cao, being Cao Cao, he doesn't just arrest them, he sets a trap.
Of course he does. How?
He pretends to have one of his headwind attacks, feigns illness, and summons Jiping.
Oh, this is tense.
Incredibly tense. Jiping comes, prepares the medicine, carefully adds the poison. He offers it to Cao Cao. But Cao Cao, knowing exactly what's in the cup, stalls.
How?
He says something like, there's a rule, isn't there, that a minister should taste medicine for his ruler first. Asks Jiping to take a sip.
Oh no, Jiping must have known instantly.
He knew he was caught. The game was up. It really makes you think about Cao Cao's mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
His intelligence network must have been superb to verify the servant's story so quickly, and his paranoia, always expecting betrayal. It let him turn the tables completely.
So what does Jiping do? He's cornered.
In a final, desperate act, he lunges at Cao Cao. Tries to physically force the poison medicine down his throat. Yeah. But Cao Cao's guards are obviously ready. Jiping is overwhelmed. The medicine spills everywhere, apparently cracking the floor tiles. Just this dramatic, violent end to the plot.
And Jiping is captured immediately, I assume?
Instantly. Hauled away by the guards.
So Cao starts the interrogation. He wants names, right? Who else was in on it?
Exactly. He tries to play cool at first, claims he wasn't really sick, it was all a test. He even offers Jiping leniency, says, just tell me who put you up to this.
Jiping, he doesn't break, does he?
Breaks. He does the opposite. His defiance is just breathtaking. He starts cursing Cao Cao, calls him a treacherous thief who deceives the emperor.
He admits trying to kill him.
Loud and clear. He yells something like, the whole world wants to kill you, not just me. And insists, I wanted to kill you myself. No one sent me. It failed, so just kill me.
Wow. No fear at all.
None, just pure conviction. And then comes the torture.
Oh, right. The sources mention that. It sounds brutal.
2 hours, apparently. A severe beating. Left with skin torn, flesh broken, blood on steps. Just horrific.
And he still doesn't name anyone.
Doesn't say a word about the others. Cao Cao eventually has to stop the torture.
Why stop?
He was afraid Ji Ping would actually die under the beating, and then he'd never find out who the other conspirators were. He needed Ji Ping alive, for a little longer at least.
That level of endurance, that loyalty,
Yeah.
it's hard to fathom.
It really is. Ji Ping's courage is just immense. His spirit, totally unbroken despite that agony. It speaks volumes about his character, his commitment to the Han cause. It shows the extraordinary lengths people would go to for their beliefs back then, even facing certain death and, well, unimaginable pain. It's more than just physical toughness. It's profound moral strength. Cao Cao inviting his ministers to a banquet. Sounds pretty standard, right? A normal court thing.
Seems that way on the surface.
But there's one really key figure missing. Dong Cheng.
Right. And he doesn't just send his regrets. He specifically feigns illness. That's important.
And why does that stand out? Because other plotters like Wang Zifu and 3 others, they do go. Even though they're scared of Cao Cao, they show up.
Well, it immediately cranks up the tension, doesn't it? Dong Cheng's absence is like a flashing light. It says something's wrong. He's betting that not going is less suspicious than going and maybe giving something away under pressure.
But the others feel the opposite, that not going would be too suspicious.
Exactly. They're caught in this impossible bind right from the start. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, sort of. It shows how precarious their whole situation is. The fear is already palpable.
And then, the party takes a really dark turn. Cao Cao announces he has someone who can, quote, sober up his officials.
A chilling phrase in this context.
Definitely. And this is where it gets intense. 20 guards drag in this man, Ji Ping, wearing a long wooden collar, right there in front of all the ministers.
A public spectacle.
Cao Cao accuses him publicly of conspiring with evil parties, wanting to rebel, plotting to harm him, and then he just orders him beaten.
Right there. No trial, just straight to torture.
Straight to it. They beat Ji Ping until he passes out, splash water on him to wake him up, and the moment he's conscious, what does he do? He screams, "Cao the thief! Why don't you kill me now?"
Wow. Immediate defiance. No fear, just rage.
Zero fear. Cao Cao tries to get info asking if there are 6 co-conspirators, making, 7 total, including Ji Ping.
Ah, so he's signaling. He's letting the others know he knows something. He knows the numbers.
Seems like it, but Ji Ping just keeps cursing him, won't say a word, even as they keep beating him. And the sources say Wang Zifu and the other 3 conspirators who are there are just, well, looking at each other like sitting on pins and needles, utterly terrified.
Of course. Imagine being them. Watching this unfold, knowing Cao Cao just mentioned 6 others, it's psychological torture for them, too.
Ji Ping just shows no sign of breaking, no begging for mercy. Eventually, Cao Cao has him taken away, just temporarily.
This whole scene, it's a masterclass in intimidation. Cao Cao isn't just punishing Ji Ping. He's putting on a performance for everyone else, especially the plotters in the room. He doesn't have to point fingers directly yet. The torture speaks for itself.
It really raises that question, doesn't it? How does seeing something like that public brutality, affect loyalty or just sheer fear?
It's designed to shatter loyalty, to make self-preservation the only thought in their minds. Fear becomes the dominant force.
So the main banquet ends, but for 4 guys, Wang Zifu and his 3 buddies, the night is definitely not over. Cao Cao keeps them behind for a private chat.
Right, the shift in tactics, from public spectacle to private pressure.
He gets straight to it. Asks them about their talks with Dong Cheng, and specifically asks about what was written on the white silk.
Ah, the white silk. He's getting specific. He's letting them know he knows about the medium of the conspiracy, not just that there is one.
But they all deny it, flat out. Know nothing, saw nothing.
Standard denial. What else can they do at this point?
So Cao Cao brings in his ace, Qin King Tong. This guy confronts them, accuses all 6 conspirators of drawing characters together, basically signing their names to something when they were alone.
The insider, the defector. This is a classic move to break solidarity, show them someone from their own circle has talked.
Wang Zifu tries to fight back, discredit King King Tong, says he's just a runaway slave who had an affair with Dong Cheng's concubine and got punished, so now he's lying for revenge.
A plausible defense, maybe? Trying to sow doubt about the witness's motives?
But Cao Cao presses. Ji Ping poisoned me, he says. Who else but Dong Cheng would have ordered it? Still, the 4 deny everything.
They're holding the line, for now.
Cao Cao lays down an ultimatum then. Confess tonight. Maybe you'll be forgiven. Wait until it all comes out. You won't be tolerated. Still nothing. So Cao Cao just orders them seized and thrown in prison.
He gave them a chance, or the illusion of one. By refusing, they sealed their fate, at least in Cao Cao's eyes. Isolating them, using the defector, the specific mention of the white silk. It's all designed to create cracks, make them believe the game is up.
Okay, so the next day, Cao Cao decides to pay Dongcheng a little visit. A, quote, sick visit.
Yeah, sick visit sounds about right, with a large entourage, no doubt.
Gaslight. Shows up at Dongcheng's house. Dongcheng basically has to drag himself out to greet him, despite pretending to be ill.
The pressure is mounting. He can't even hide at home.
Cao Cao makes these pointed remarks like, oh, your sickness must be due to the country's troubles, making Dongcheng super uneasy. Then asks him flat out if he knows about Jiping's case. Dongcheng denies it.
Still trying to maintain the facade. It's crumbling fast, though.
Then Cao Cao just coldly laughs, the text says, and orders Jiping brought in again. Says Jiping will cure Dongcheng's illness.
Ugh. Just brutal psychological torment for Dongcheng now, forcing him to confront Jiping directly.
Jiping's dragged in, and he's still furious, screaming, "Rebel!" at Cao Cao. Cao Cao points at Jiping, tells Dongcheng, look, he implicated Wang Zifu and the others. They're arrested. There's still one person not caught yet.
Twisting the knife?
Yeah.
Making it clear he believes Dongcheng is that last one.
He demands Jiping confess who ordered the poisoning. Jiping's answer, heaven ordered me to kill the rebel.
Still defiant. Calling Cao Cao a rebel to his face. Incredible courage, or maybe just absolute conviction.
Cao Cao's enraged, orders more beatings. Jiping's body is just covered in wounds, and Dongcheng is forced to watch all this, his heart cut like a knife.
Unbearable. Both the physical torture for Jiping and the mental torture for Dongcheng.
Then Cao Cao notices something. Asks Jiping, you used to have 10 fingers. Why only 9 now? Jiping declares, I chewed it off as an oath to kill the national thief. Cao Cao doesn't hesitate. Orders a knife brought. Cuts off Jiping's other 9 fingers right there. I still have a mouth to swallow the thief and a tongue to curse the thief. So Cao Cao orders his tongue cut out.
This is just beyond brutality. It's almost ritualistic destruction.
Then Jiping seems to break. He said, stop, I can't take it, I'll confess. Just release my bonds.
A trick? Or did he finally break?
Cao Cao orders him unbound. The moment he's free, Jiping stands up, faces the direction of the imperial palace, bows deeply and cries out, your servant couldn't remove the villain for the country. This is fate.
Ah, so it was a final act of defiance.
He finishes bowing, then smashes his head against the stone steps and dies. Right there.
Wow. A dramatic, defiant suicide. Choosing his own end, making one last loyal statement.
Cao Cao, showing no mercy even in death, orders Jiping's body dismembered and displayed publicly. This all happens, the source notes, in the first month of Jianan 5, which is 200 CE.
Jiping's death is horrific, but in a way, he wins. He never confessed. He never betrayed Dongcheng. Instead, he becomes this symbol of loyalty to the Han, a martyr. His self-mutilation, his final words, his suicide deal, they're all powerful statements against Cao Cao's tyranny.
And the source even quotes a later poem praising him, right? About the 10 bleeding fingers and his extraordinary name being admired for 1,000 autumns.
Exactly. It shows his sacrifice wasn't forgotten and became legendary. Cao Cao might have killed the man, but he created a powerful symbol of resistance.
So Jiping's tragic defiance is over. Now Cao Cao turns his full attention back to Dongcheng, the final act. He has King Tung brought in again.
The accuser, face-to-face with the accused main plotter.
Dongcheng is furious, naturally. Demands this runaway slave be executed immediately.
Trying to regain control, discredit the witness one last time.
But Cao Cao shuts him down. Says King Tung is here to testify about the rebellion, and then he delivers the final blow. He declares Wang Zifu and the others have already confessed. Confirmed everything, leaving Dongcheng basically no room to deny anything anymore.
Whether they actually confessed or not almost doesn't matter. Cao Cao says they did. He's closing the net completely. There's no escape hatch left for Dongcheng.
Right. And then he orders his men search Dongcheng's private rooms.
And they find it?
They find it. The Belt Decree, the Yidai Zhao, and the Oath of Righteousness, the Alliance Pact signed by the conspirators.
The physical evidence, the smoking gun, undeniable proof straight from the emperor, no less.
Cao Cao looks at the documents, laughs, and says, how dare these mice?
He immediately orders Dongcheng's entire household, everyone, master and servant, arrested. No loose ends.
Swift and total, neutralizing any potential remaining threats or witnesses.
Then he takes the decree and the oath back to his own place, shows them to his advisors, and the conversation immediately shifts.
to deposing Emperor Qian, getting rid of him and installing a new emperor. The source ends with this really poignant line. A few lines of imperial edict became a vain hope. A single sheet of alliance brought disaster.
That sums it up perfectly. Finding that belt decree is the ultimate justification for Cao Cao. It's not just about crushing a plot anymore. It's proof, in his eyes, that the emperor himself is plotting against him. It gives him the political cover or the pretext he needs to escalate his own ambitions.
So it moves from investigating a conspiracy to essentially planning a coup.
Precisely. It reveals Cao Cao's endgame wasn't just about survival. It was about ultimate control.